So we're in London at Software-Defined Operations and the Autonomous Network. I'm here with Roy from Atrinet. Roy, good to see you again.
Hey.
Always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure.
So 2 days of conversations here. The topic, and a lot of talk about needing to gather reliable information about the network and services and being able to analyze and make sense of that. And obviously a key part of that is discovery.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that and why it's important?
Yeah, so actually quite happy to hear today in the analytics panel that we've had that people started understanding that it's not enough just to gather counters and other statistics from the network, because it's meaningless if you don't have an end-to-end understanding of what's really there in the network, which is what discovery basically is about. So we need to correlate these statistics and counters and other traffic performance values to actually what's happening there in your network. And you cannot use the inventory systems that exist today because they're completely detached, they're not network driven. So the same way you want to get your analytics from your network, you should get your network inventory from the network. The network basically is the master. It's going to get more and more complex even if you're taking VNFs into account, because the network is moving around. You must have the precise view of what's there in order to make sense of it, like closed loop automation. No way you're just going to get counters into it.
Yeah.
So discovery is basically about changing the prospect of inventory to be network driven. The network is the master. You run in real time, gather the changes that are affected in the network, and you basically populate this information to the inventory, not relying on any manual updates at all.
Okay, so you mentioned there like the impact and the importance of taking into account virtualization, but of course, as that happens, the physical legacy network is still there.
Yeah.
And both are going to coexist for a very long time.
A very long time.
So this has got to be a major challenge for operators. How do they address this?
Yeah, so I saw a nice slide the first day. It showed like a orchestration diagram, and it has like service orchestration, PNFs, like a small box, and then VNF etsi mano, like this. Okay, I understand that the guys were very enthusiastic about what they're doing. Maybe a little bit too presumptuous to think like the only complex thing is like the VNF management. I think PNF management, the traditional legacy part of the network, is still complex. It's going to get even more complex because you are getting better analytics and you're starting to do closed loop automation. So regardless of the VNF, it's complex there as well. And much more complex is the combination of these, because these are not isolated islands. If you want, I don't know, you can add just another management system that will make your life even more complex than
But nobody
today.
wants to add another management system, do they?
So you need some holistic. I like it's still popular saying holistic. So you need holistic, some kind of an umbrella, or at least something closer to it, to enable to manage these two legs, the traditional and the virtual part together. What we at Atrinet are proposing is sort of a SDNizing or SDNizer tool to sort of bridge between the NGOSS systems that are becoming more and more netconf, Yang oriented, to these parts of the network which, of course, have been manufactured before anyone thought of this concept. So sort of exposing these parts of the network as they are SDN native or SDN speaking.
Okay.
This basically allow to start combining these two up until now separate parts of the network.
Okay. And is this an idea or an approach that's resonating with operators?
Yes, so we're seeing it resonating very much with operators who've went the netconf Yang way. There are a lot of them. For the other operators, we offer similar approach that basically abstract the network through open REST APIs. Personally, I actually prefer the REST APIs approach, open programmable APIs. I think it's easier. Almost every developer in the world know how to use this, so you have a much bigger pool of people that can work with this tool than just netconf Yang speaking. But on the other hand, network engineers have an easier time working with netconf Yang.
Right.
So two approaches are optional.
Okay. I'm sure this is something that's going to become a part of the processes of many more operators in the future. So I look forward to catching up next year and finding out how this is developing.
We'll be happy to meeting you at London again.
Absolutely. Great, Roy. Thank you very much.
And bring good coffee next time.
Okay.